Hello guys, this is deliciousVB with another tutorial, and this tutorial will be on, well, it will be the second tutorial or video in the beginner series. And yeah, it's the same day. Sorry, I'm having technical glitches. Hold on. Okay, the thing in the audio jack wasn't plugged in all the way. But nevertheless, this tutorial, like I said last time, is on creating your first window or your first form. And it will have many of the common components that forms have. And I'm going to go through the common ones A to Z and put them on the form, show you the properties of them over here, like I said last tutorial. So that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna basically explain all these components, and that's gonna be not today's, but right now's tutorial. So let me start from A. Now, when you go click on Toolbox under All Windows Forms. Not under Common Controls, but under All Windows Forms. Let's go through them A to Z. Now, there are no A's. Okay, so I'm looking at them A to Z. Button. Very, 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 very common. Usually, there is no program out there, application out there, even made for fun, that does not have a button. Of course, there are exceptions to that, but I don't know any application without it, except for a console application, which I don't want to get into right now. Now, double click on button, which automatically adds it to your form, and you see button 1. And each component or control has a name. Now, in this case, the name is button 1. You can change it by typing in any text you want here. Now, I'm not going to change the name just to keep things simple, but the text I am going to change, my first button. Now, buttons basically, it executes any designated code that you specifically put in the event handler of the button click. Now that, once again, I will get into next video, not this one. However, this one, you see I have a button. I can change the font if I want to. Okay. 12. I'm just doing that. I'm doing different fonts. Now, that's a button. So basically, you haven't coded anything, so it won't do anything right now. If you run it, you can try to run it, but it won't do anything. Now, the next really common thing would probably be the color dialog. The color dialog allows you to select a color. Now, unfortunately, it is not something you see. Now, however, I will show you an example of a color dialog. Notepad. So I'm gonna open up Notepad++, and I'm gonna go to see if there's settings, style configurator, and I can click on this, and this is basically what a color dialog is, except it's a new window. So that it just allows you to select a color and then click OK or whatever, or double click on it. Now, because this is another window, and this is one specific window, you'll not be able to see it. However, it is still a control of this window, or this form. Now, here's the tricky part, and you have to understand this. This may be a little complicated, but you have to understand this. Color dialogs, you will not be able to edit or view a color dialog unless you're debugging. So you can tell this color dialog 1 to show, but you will never, that will only execute while you're debugging and never while you're testing. So there's no way I can show you what this does without coding anything. I'm sorry about that, but you know, I'm just not gonna get into coding until next video where I show you simple lines of coding and event handlers. The next really important thing, this is really important, combo box. You see combo boxes everywhere. This is one combo box right here. You can click down. You can click this down arrow. That's a combo box. When you select fonts, so let's just say you click on this. This is not a combo box, but it's a combo box with a list box, which is what I'll explain. Now, a combo box is basically a text box, which I'll explain too, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's basically a text box with things that, like, selections you can make. Now, I'm trying to think of where I'd see a combo box in real life. So let's say, oh yeah, this is very important. This is also known as a drop-down box, except you can type in it. So it's a drop-down box, you can type in it. So yep, that's that. That's a combo box. Let's keep going down. Context menu strip is a right-click menu. You can add things, delete things, but it's the same as a menu strip, which I will show you, except a context menu strip can be set as a property of another control, which makes it the right-click of that control. This you don't need. No. Folder browser dialog is pretty common. Once again, like the color dialog, I can't show it to you, but it allows you to select a folder. Font dialog, same as color dialog, except you select a font. Once again, I cannot show it to you. Group box is fairly common. It's just a design thing. You can put any text you want here and then drag a control into it. So if you move around the group box, that moves with it too. It's not going to be very common. It's just for design pretty much. Help provider, nah. Label, I explained that in the first tutorial. Just text. Label's just text. Link label, it's just a label, except you can set a link to it. Link. List box. That is pretty common. So you should know it's just a selection. So it's kind of like a combo box, except you can't type. So it just shows all the selections. Now, where would that be shown in real life? A list box. That's hard. How come I can never think of these things? Anyway. Oh my god. I'm looking right at one. This is a list box right here. This toolbox place. So you can select anything except you can't type. List view is like a list box, except it has icons. So if you want to make your own small operating system, it'd be good for a desktop, whatever. Mask text box, don't worry about that. Menu strip. Double click on menu strip. Now, by the way, down here are the things. These are the controls that can be, like, not show up. Like, it's hard to explain. Just ignore it. So yeah, you can move everything wherever you want, drag and drop, but this menu strip, this is a menu strip right here. This thing. That's what a menu strip is. So let's say file, and you click in 1, type in 2, and then let's put in a separator. So click on the down arrow and separator, and 3. So, it's a menu strip one. Menu strip, you know. Now, let me check the time. Okay, I need to hurry up a little bit. We open file dialogs. It allows you to select a file. Once again, can't be shown. Panel is basically a background. You can set the color. All the controls drag with it. Picture box. It allows you to put any picture in it. Displays a picture. Progress bar. It shows the progress of one thing. You can set maximum value, current value, minimum value. Rich text box. Very common text box, except you can type with specific fonts and colors and all that stuff. Save file dialog. Same as open file dialog, except you're saving something. So yeah, tab control, basically with tabs. This is an example of something with tabs. It has tabs, except the tabs don't really look like that, but you know, it's an example of tab control. Text box, type text in it, pretty self-explanatory. Timer. It executes a command at specific intervals. Those intervals you can set. So let's say the interval, and they're milliseconds. So let's say you set the interval to 2,000. That means 2,000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds. Now, so every 2 seconds, the tick event will occur, and in the tick event handler, which I'll talk about next tutorial, you can code whatever it does. Tool strip. You can test it out. I don't even have time. And web browser, self-explanatory. So make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And these are the basic components of a window, the most common ones. Now, yes, you'll encounter ones that you're like, well, he didn't say that was common. But, you know, you'll encounter it, but it probably won't happen. So make sure you click the save all button. I always click save all. I never click save for some reason. I just don't. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial. So make sure to rate this tutorial, comment this tutorial, and subscribe to my channel, deliciousVB, if you want more tutorials right when they come out, and this beginner series, of course. So check out my website, deliciousvb.net32.net. Do everything you can, and I am out. Peace.